Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends the part of the world you're joining us from. I remember Chika Austin. I want to just have a brief talk, a brief kind of probably less than 1 hour. We use 30 minutes to make presentations, then have the remaining, the remaining leftover minutes to get people calling. So, okay, we have something to look into. I made a post some time ago talking about the French intelligence agency and, their operations. Most of us might not really understand the complicity of, global warfare. It's quite unfortunate that most of us only understand war from conventional perspective. And I believe I'm coming out loud and clear, as the case may be. Please notify us. Let us know how clear we are coming out, So, most of us do not understand how wars are fought. Most of us always, understand warfare from the nominal, or should I say the regular perspective. That is gun and bullet. And let me tell you for your information, war has transcended or grown above that. There are different kinds of war. All depends the one the enemy wants to deploy at a given time or given moment. Ordinarily people, in fact, when you listen to some of us, some of us, things we say, things we dish out, you will understand that majority of us are still far from what war is. We understand war from a very parochial perspective, and it's, shocking. It's shocking to see that, that we understand war from that angle at which is really far from what warfare is. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about this, because what I'm going to do is just I build foundation, then I make a subsequent clarifications on the topic we want to talk about. But the truth remains, war is not just the conventional understanding, of warfare, where you bring armored tanks, where you bring, war jets and all this. Before that war, there is other forms of war. And one of those wars we are facing currently is psychological warfare. Psychological warfare. I have been laying emphasis on this earlier before now. Some stupid people amongst us, permit my language, will always want to, he talks about geopolitics, he talks about, international politics, let him concentrate on local things, let him concentrate on what is happening around. But the truth remains, you cannot talk about Biafra without the global perspective. You can't. It is symbiotic. There is strong interconnection. As a matter of fact, Biafra is not going to be an isolated state. Just like there is no country that is an isolated country. You must, integrate. It's a must. The reason why we keep on educating ourselves, it does not really mean you must, enroll in university, study global politics or diplomacy for you to be sound. But there is also a reason for those who have acquired this knowledge to share, to educate others. Why we are called a movement? We are called a movement so that to enable everyone, you get what I'm saying? To just enable everyone who has a certain areas of expertise, share that expertise to everyone. If you have a knowledge in medicine, for instance, and I'm naive about, medical issues, I should leverage on your knowledge. That is why we are called movement. Movement comprises different kinds of knowledge. Any movement that you cannot sort a solution to a problem within her is not a movement, it's a court. It's not a movement, it's a court. A movement is a composition of different talents, different knowledge, different gifts. That is what makes it unique. So when some of us in our, should I say, I don't know, but I can describe that as, small witchcrafty or what, jealousy or shared hatred. Try to, he talks, some of these guys, when I look at, he talks a lot about geopolitics. The truth remains, if we do not talk geopolitics, how can we manipulate a very complex game? International politics is a game. America penetration in Nigeria is a game. Very complex. It's not a game you can understand with a parochial viewpoint. It's not a game you can easily have a comparative advantage by reducing your mind to, local setting. You can't understand it. The event will finish happening and we can never gain anything if we have disdain for global politics, global political economy, history. Events will finish happening, and we also tell it as a story without having a strategic position to have a strategic advantage. So when you see these noisemakers or these boys yapping, talking irrelevant things, sometimes people like me, I weep. Why I weep is because I look at people chasing clouds when real issues are happening. Look at global event happening. A lot of African countries are watching what is going on in Nigeria because big actors are now positioning to contend power. America is there, China is there to contend, France is there. And these are big global players. When we're supposed to be strategic, analyzing, evaluating and re-evaluating alignment, and people are busy talking rubbish, talking irrelevant nonsense, things I call irrelevancy. And it's also important all these things will happen, we can maintain a strategic position. Even those we don't even expect from other regions, you see them calling relationship, making a strategic positioning, having a comparative winning. And our own, we are busy talking nonsense. Who visits Sokoto and who doesn't visit Sokoto? Why DOS is taking, say, what is that useless narrative? DOS is taking the movement aside. Just trying to keep us busy with issues that are not even worth making a public debate. Yes. Because if we fail to make an impact, we still blame ourselves. And nothing will happen. we still blame ourselves. The terrible thing about us is that we do not take responsibilities. We also find who to blame. Oh, when we're supposed to have focus, do what, when Nigeria was, superpowers were there, instead of us to focus, do what we did not do it. I blame Chika Austin. I think he said he was an expert in geopolitics. Why did he not, encourage the leadership to pursue and maintain a strategic position? This is the blame that will come up. I trust our people. Nobody will say, oh, I contributed to the mess. I contributed to the destruction. I contributed to the, to the nonsense of that time. Nobody will say it. They will just look for who to apportion blame. Just the way nobody is taking responsibility of the Kenya debacle. Nobody is taking responsibility of the judicial mess. Nobody is taking responsibility of, stopping to do internal and the inner work from taking on to so. Nobody is taking that responsibility. And when you have a people who find it difficult to take responsibility, it becomes a very serious issue. Our people should develop a culture of taking responsibility. Where you err, admit you have erred. That is humanity for you. That is responsibility for you. That is what ideal society presents. Not when you do mess, you still want whom to blame. You want someone else to take responsibility of your mess. It doesn't work that way. You should take responsibility of your mess. That is how, of course, most of us, when we say, we want Biafra. So I want Biafra to be like US. We want Biafra to be like Europe. And when Biafra comes, it's going to be like Japan. Go and look at political history of these countries. When their leaders err, they say, yes, we have gotten it wrong. That is leadership responsibility. In our own case, when it happened, when there are areas of shortcomings, we still want to brag. Yes. It's so disturbing. No people grow by that way. No people grow by that way. No people grow by that way. As a matter of fact, such life is disgusting to people like me. You must take responsibility. Apologize where necessary. So that others follow you will know that there is a precedence that has been laid. Yes. There is a precedence that has been laid. He erred and he asked for apology. He erred so that we can understand how life functions. It's so funny. Very, very important. So what am I trying to say? I came up to discuss in a very brief way the French intelligence agency and their jobs. Most of you might not really understand the level at which we go for certain information. Never mind that when we present this information to you, some of you will water it down, some of you will even make mockery of it. But for the sake that what we are fighting is not for you alone, we are fighting for ourselves, fighting for our generation unborn. There is no guarantee that we must partake in governance of Biafra. There is no guarantee, no law that says it. Neither is there any guarantee that we might even be alive when the nation emerges. It's very, very important we understand that. There is no natural guarantee. The issue of life and death is an absolute decision of the creator of the universe. So let us not have this parochial thinking, maybe we do this because when Biafra comes. No. Nobody owns his life. Nobody owns his life. I do not own my life. You do not own your life. Very, very important to understand that. So a certain level at which we go pick information and share it to our people, And sometimes the way our people handle it make me even laugh. Very, very important. So there is something ongoing, and we must, we must understand what is going on. We must understand what is going on. And that thing that is going on is what we call asymmetric war. Asymmetric war. Tinubu, when Tinubu emerged as the president of Nigeria, he didn't run, or he's now running a similar foreign policy like his predecessor, Buhari. Buhari is a pro-Britain. When Tinubu emerged, he redirected Nigerian foreign policy to be pro-France. Take understanding of what we're saying. Jonathan was somehow pro-America and pro-Israel, but more of Israel than America, because America of that time never accommodated Jonathan. That was Obama's America. But Jonathan did everything to direct Nigerian foreign policy towards Jerusalem. And when Buhari came, Buhari was more of Anglo-Saxon, Britain. When Tinubu came, Tinubu decided to redirect Nigerian foreign policy to be pro-France. And I understand some of the reason why Tinubu decided to go France. There are so many reasons Tinubu decided to go France. One of the reasons was this: Britain was not really strong economically to help Nigeria curtail, the Islamic terrorists. Britain was not really strong economically to help Nigeria. That is one. Two, when it comes to terrorism in Sahel, France is more in control of different groups than any country on earth. From Mauritania to Chad to Niger to Burkina Faso, France controls a lot of sects, Islamic sects. So for Tinubu, it is better to be close to people who this boy is listening to. So he now felt that the best thing to do is to go close to France. That is one. Now, another thing is this: listen very carefully. Tinubu also felt that the issue of IPOB is a tool that Britain, that hosts Radio Biafra, uses to put pressure on the Nigerian leadership. Understand how these kinds think. So for Tinubu, hence UK could not, even during Buhari's time, UK could not stop IPOB. UK could not unleash state power on IPOB. To Tinubu, it means that UK is using IPOB to play a balanced politics, thereby, always tell Nigeria, if you want to get this, if you want us to do this against IPOB, do this for us. That is Tinubu understanding. So what Tinubu felt, let me meet France. Perhaps France can help in checkmating, curtailing activities of IPOB. I told you it is not just only IPOB. I gave you analysis from Sahel, events in Sahel and all the rest of them. So Tinubu decided to deepen relationship with France. And for your information, France is really experienced when it comes to sub-Sahara Africa. Understand me? France is widely experienced when it comes to conflict in sub-Sahara Africa. France is widely experienced because of her, Francophonian satellite states scattered all over Sahel and sub-Sahara. So France is really, really experienced. Now, let's look at how France have been handling, the Biafran question prior to now. Most of you see, when we say our people, be open to history. History will make you to understand that this is what this person did to your father, and there is no how he could see you different from your father. Now, if you look at during the Civil War, France came in and started supporting the Biafran side. Understand this. Now, it got to a point that France helped the Biafran side to mobilize a lot of Sahel countries to recognize Biafra. I'm talking about Ojukwu's time. Well, when we talk about Biafran struggle, most of you think Biafran struggle is just a issue of our dispensation. Before, so I was not born the time of Ojukwu. So prior to my coming to earth, our people have been desiring for freedom. Our people have been desiring for freedom. But when we talk about Biafra, most of us who are really young think is a journey that IPOB started. No, IPOB is the of later people. So people have fought for it. People have agitated for it. IPOB is not the first, it's not the second. It's not even the third, because there are a lot of groups. But when you look at these groups, you ask yourself, how far did they go? And what led to their collapse? Because some of us will say, nothing will destroy IPOB. I believe that, but the truth, as a historian and a realist, I believe that for something not to destroy you, you have to do what is humanly required. It's not just believing merely. He said that that is the wisdom of our ancients. So during the Biafran War, France, decided to join the Biafran side, and mobilized a lot of French countries, Francophone countries like Burkina Faso and all the rest of them. They mobilized them to give a diplomatic support. That is recognition. It was France that did that. For us, for our fathers, it was France that did that. Now, while the war was going on, at the time, Britain convinced the Nigerian government to promise France Bakassi. To promise France Bakassi. And immediately France was promised Bakassi Peninsula, which has a very huge gas reserve till today. Do you know what happened? France traded the Biafran side for the sake of the gas in Bakassi Peninsula and mandated Cameroon to guarantee blockade. Because when France was supporting the Biafran side, France was conducting the arm route of the Biafran side. They know where Biafran was, through which they were bringing their arms and all this. So France was somehow deeply involved internally in managing the logistical and supply chain of the Biafran side. So when they were approached Why we are telling you history? For you to understand that history is not for stupid people who just think life is just in automatic way. No. Life we're living is a very complex way. You don't gain Biafra by mere wishes. You must understand the dynamics of international system. You must understand it. Don't just come, you talk blah, blah, blah and go and sleep. Or you malign people. It is beyond what you think. It's beyond rhetorics. The word is an advanced stage of manipulations. So if you make noise, it doesn't move anybody. It doesn't move anybody. And why we'll be teaching you history, despite, in spite of you liking it or not liking it, is to help you to understand that nothing is new under the sun. If you make the mistake your fathers make, you will have the same failure result your fathers had. No two ways about it. It's not all about God forbid. It's not all about Holy Ghost fire. You can do all those religious fatalism as much as you like. Reality is there. If we make the mistake our fathers make, the failures of our fathers will still await us. So either you embrace reality or you keep on messing yourself up and be counting endless time. So France, along the line, was promised Bakassi Peninsula. And remember, France was deeply in the know of everything happening within Biafran government. What did France do? France traded the Biafran side, got what they want, and betrayed. You might call it betray, but I would prefer to use the word trade. They traded the Biafran side. And that was how they put pressure on Cameroon to guarantee the Biafran side, blockade. Biafrans could not receive arms, they could not receive food. And that was the beginning of our problem. You see, these are historical realities. It is what it is. It is what it is. So when we tell you the importance of international engagement, diplomatic outreach, and you are somewhere in your small space talking rubbish, insulting those who are advancing on that stage, telling them, let them make it open to you, telling those who are suffering, engaging powers that be, you start insulting them. You will, God forbid, if they decide to say, oh, they are anointing, let them relax. After all, everybody is in the pain. You will shout and make your noise and nothing will happen. You start counting afresh. Maybe your children wake up and start, by the time your children are now suppressed beyond what you're facing today, maybe they start their own agitation. And if they cannot also learn from history, they will also fail. The way you failed, that is life for you. It's a honest thing you must be open to. Accept. You can't discard it. So what am I trying to say? France traded. Now, Tinubu understand how France, because Nigeria has also their secret archive. They have where they documented what happened, how they ended the war, who assisted them, what happened. So perhaps they have come to realize the importance of France in the whole thing, and they have gotten France to help and dislodge IPOB. Now, some of you, as a taxi driver, as I'm popularly called, some of you will say, oh, how does he know about this? Anyway, as a matter of fact, we also have our network. We also have our information gathering network. Now, let me now tell you what French intelligence agency is doing. I wrote their name, French intelligence agency. No, direction is in French language anyway, but their name is Direction Générale de la Sécurité Extérieure. That means they're in charge of external security, the external security of French, just the way you have Nigeria external one, NIA, National Intelligence Agency, DSS conduct internal one, NIA conduct external one. In Israel, the Shin Bet conducts internal, while Mossad conduct external. In Britain, you have MI5 for internal and MI6 for external, So these are how it is. Every country has internal and external. And I also believe IPOB also have such a thing. Yeah, I also think so. Anyway, and that is how countries respect institutions. You don't just come and be doing your nonsense locally and they expect the world to take you serious. You have to present a distinct institution. As a matter of fact. Now, before that, I will play a voice that Onyendu, echoed years back, because when we talk about these things, some of you do not understand. But let me say something before I play that. Now, France is involved in dislodging IPOB. France is involved. But before that, let us look at places this French intelligence agency have done work in the past. Let's look at Ambazonia. Most of you do not know what happened in it. Do you hear about Ambazonia again? Ambazonia agitation is gone and buried. Courtesy of this French intelligence agency, they did an amazing job. I give it to them. Yes, when people have a success, you have to give them that appraisal, positive appraisal. So the French intelligence agency, this French intelligence agency, you're seeing the name, they did a very good job in Ambazonia. And one of the tactics they use in Ambazonia, which also they are deploying on us, are the ignorant of most people, is the strategy of creating fear. You know what happened in Ambazonia? Let me tell you what they did in Ambazonia. When at a time the Cameroonian government was busy using both land to attack the Ambazonian freedom fighters. And America was not happy because of high level of human rights violation records. So many countries were not really happy the way the Cameroonian government was killing the freedom fighters in Ambazonia. France now asked the Cameroonian government to hold on. They should stop shooting because of international outcry. They should calm down, let them help them to do the job. Do you know what they did? They first of all came up, is a psychological operation. They sowed the seed of telling the leaders, the key leaders in Ambazonia, that people are trying to kill them. Their own people are after them to kill. That their own people are after them to kill. These leaders, some of them started leaving their safe zones to dangerous zones. For one of them even came to Nigeria because they have planted that seed of fear around them. One of them came to Nigeria and he was caught in Nigeria and given a life sentence. One of their key leaders. But before he exited, he ran away from his safe zone. They first of all planted that seed. It's a psychological operation. You plant the seed of fear around the leader. He feels he's not safe. He takes flight. Then you track him to the location and pick him. Now, when they succeeded in taking their leaders off, they started sowing the seed amongst the remnant, because already their leaders are now under their control. They have captured one in Belgium. They have captured one in Nigeria. They have to now started planting a seed that, oh, these people want to take over. These people want to move the struggle out of the captured leaders. These people want to redirect all manners of languages. That particular seed of suspicion that was dropped by this French Secret Service in the midst of Ambazonia fighters, that drop decentralized down to the least person in the struggle. They started worrying themselves. Oh, let us fight these people. They want to move the struggle out of the leader. Oh, these people say, oh, these people are accusing us of trying to, when something like that, they are the ones that want to destroy the struggle. Do you know what? The Ambazonia started fighting themselves. They lost distraction. And this thing was happening when Americans were already discussing their matter in State Department. Because French government knew that America was really interested to know what is happening over the human rights violation. This was at the peak of America showing interest. The French intelligence agency destroyed them. Why were they destroyed? Because they lack understanding of how international politics work. They don't understand it. You will be destroyed with what you're ignorant of. That is the principles of life. Where you lack knowledge is where you'll be destroyed or taken advantage of. Nobody can rule you over where you have mastery on. And that was how they buried themselves. Do you see? Nobody shot them. Nobody area bombed them. Rather, you dropped a wrong misinformation, destructive misinformation. It decentralized to the least person and everything is gone. Everything collapsed. And guess what? The same titles, they are done with Ambazonia. And Nigerian government has contracted them to do the job. Now, when you hear some idiots, permit me, I don't like using offensive languages on people, but when I see an idiot, I identify one. When you see some idiots, they have successfully restricted the leader of the movement. And they have turned back and, in fact, before restricting him, they have started working on the mind of the leader. And that's why, most cases, I feel for the leader of this movement, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, owing to the fact that it's not easy. When you are restricted and you're being informed with what is not really real, especially words like, leader, do you know what is happening? He said, I don't know. He said, do you know that these people are no longer mentioning your name on the radio? They have moved on. Do you know that they are planning to replace you with another person? Do you know, as we speak to you, there is a strong move to even write that we are not the one that even find IPOB. Do you know, this is a human being you are talking to. It's not a spirit. Do you know that everything about you, they are making move to eradicate it from the movement? This is a man that is isolated. And you're planting these messages of isolation, relegations. Then he will ask you, what do you think we can do? He said the best thing to do is let us create a parallel movement against them. Let us establish radio. Let us create a group. Just be given the approval, because if we allow these people, they are going to destroy you. Approve for parallel radio. Approve for Directorate of Emissary. Approve these guys, the Biafran army. Recognize them. Approve these people who are doing this. And why such a thing is going, there are also another people in the other side who are also telling the people of the other side that, look, there's danger. There's danger. There is a serious move to undermine the mother project. There is a serious move to destroy the core project. So you now understand the advanced manipulation, how these intelligence agencies work. Now, they have made it around the leader himself to think that there is a threat of his life and a threat of his vision. So anybody who comes around to redirect, to present what is ideal, the next thing they tell him that this person is coming to kill you. And he's a human being. He peace consciousness. Oh, for instance, you remember when the woman went to see Onyendu and finished discussing with her, came up and said what Onyendu said. The next thing you heard is that the woman wants to poison Onyendu. That the woman wants to poison Onyendu. So imagine you're telling a man who is restricted that you see this person that just left. He even came with poison. He can even go and say, oh, go and tell people that whatever this woman said is lie. I don't know her. I have not discussed with her. It is a mind game. It is called psychological operation. That was how they used in closing Ambazonia struggle. And behold, we are on it. The problem that Ambazonia people had was this. They were not informed. I doubt. Though there might be some of them who were informed about geopolitics, about asymmetric warfare, but they were not speaking out to their people. They were not speaking out to their people to tell them that there is a war beyond AK-47. It's more disastrous. And let me tell you for information, everyone who has involved in Ambazonia agitation will definitely be eliminated. Go and write it down. They will definitely be hunted. In fact, all of them are dying. They are secretly taking them off. And that is also the fate of every single one of us who have involved in this struggle. If out of our stupidity, gullibility, emotional drives, we jeopardize the struggle, every one of us have a death sentence hanging on our head. Every one of us, some of us are very ignorant to know how state actors operate. No state actor pardons. No state actor forgives. No state actor forgives. You should understand that. Every single one of us is having a death sentence. It's not the difference between us and that of the leader is that the leader's owner is already pronounced. Life sentence is already pronounced. Every one of us. So when you think you're playing carelessness, when you think, oh, it doesn't concern you, like some stupid people will say, after I will stop doing Biafran thing. Who told you stop doing it? Then you go and rest? You go and have peace? No, now. The state will definitely one day remind you. Very, very important. So this is the operation. I said I'm not going to spend so that people can call in. For those of us who want to call in, there is a phone on this thing for questions and contribution, but we are not going to waste a whole lot of time because maybe 20 minutes time we are off. I just want this to be just an hour. Okay, maybe 15 minutes time. If you have contribution or questions, you can call. But if you don't have, we can still call the end of this program. I don't mean to have it to be a lengthy one. Don't mean to have it to be a lengthy one. But I just want to say this because if we do not say some of these things, people do not will not understand. people will not understand. If we do not say certain things we know, people, when it will be, when it's happening, you don't just swallow it, but it is targeted at your own people, at your very self, as a matter of fact. So, that is exactly what it is. So while I'll be waiting for contribution or question, in the next 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, let me tell you something you have to know, because this is a struggle. This is a struggle, and it's not a place for joke. For those of you who think, I better be con, I better be I better be just come and talk because you feel you want to talk. This is a struggle. Now let's listen, because in my next program, I'll be speaking extensively on this. This is what Onyendu said many years ago. Listen. Because the East very fight is not going to become any easier. Now, as we get to the finish. Now listen. He said, line, it will become far more. Listen. Because the East very fight is not going to become any easier. It's not going to be easier. As we get to the finishing line, it will become far more difficult. He said, as we get to the finishing line, it's going to be more difficult. It's going to be more... Okay, sorry, we picked the first caller, and then I'll continue playing. Good morning.
This is Senior JP, the grandchild.
You're welcome.
I've been listening to your program. Last time I tried to follow, but I did not make it because of time. So today I made a time to follow up, and by the grace of God, I can say you are doing a great job of the people. I want to appreciate you in that way.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you, sir.
Mazi, I have this very question that I'm troubling my mind, which I believe most of our people will always also like to be clarified on it. The issue of American presence right now in Nigeria and the current psychological warfare against IPOB and the Biafra struggle. So I will want to understand what is the fate of our people like, because most of our people believe that the coming of America will give us Biafra, and going deep into what is happening now, I think it is quite far from what our people believe. So coming now to this psychological warfare levied against us by France, what do you think is our fate, and what is our people expected?
Okay.
Thank you, man.
Thanks so much. Don't go out. Stay be there, because you might have reason to still ask for that question. Well, there are things our people do not understand about US. Remember, I have said in several occasions that US has what we call short-time operation and long-time operation. Now, when you see what US is doing in Nigeria currently, we know that US is not running a short-time operation. Because if they are running a short-time operation, they would have depended on area bombing all through. But you see them spending time to bring their logistics, their assets in Nigeria. That means their operation is a long one, not a short one. Now, the implication of this is because I read some of our people, they always say, oh, why not the base in Gulf of Guinea? And I look at them and laugh. I said, do our people even understand you're dealing with a country that is most advanced in intelligence and operational mapping? You're not dealing with a local entity. And what US, like I said, is quite unfortunate. There are things I wouldn't have said here, but I might be highly coded. For those who will understand, will understand. Those who will not understand, will not understand. Let me tell you, if North is intact, forget it. Our going will be a difficult situation. But if the Fulanis are dislodged, weakened, anybody can walk away in Nigeria and succeed. And US have taken it as a responsibility to take the battle to the epicenter of Fulani hegemony.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? That's much I can say for now on that. I know things I need to say, but for sake of strategic planning of US and carefulness in certain things, I leave it to that level.
Okay, permit me to ask just one more question before I give space for others. Okay, now, as US is already in Nigeria, and we all know that their targets, I can say, is against Fulani and their caliphate. So what do you think is the fate of Nigerian election come 2027?
Well, the Nigerian election, you cannot decide what to happen in 2027. It's really, really early to decide what to happen. You're talking about United States. You know, that's the importance of history for us to see how US did it in Iraq, how they did it in some other places they entered. There are places they entered, the election was even fast coming. Before you know, that election become an aberration. I'm not saying that 2027 election is going to be an aberration. You understand me? But if you understand, if you are well informed with US foreign operations in other lands, you should understand what is happening. And that's why I said, look, if we lost focus, if we create internal distractions for ourselves and the leadership cannot focus to study and program the timing, we'll end up observing what is happening. Others might take advantage of it and we lose out. Very, very important. Very, very important. So it calls for extreme observation, analyzing the trajectory of every development and know where to do the needful when necessary. So when people are preoccupied with irrelevant issues, they might not know. In my own language, that's only because he's busy chasing cloud. But if we are critically understanding, observing everything going on, let me tell you, US has never fought in a foreign country without using local collaborators. Do you see what is happening in Niger State? They have started raising their own local people, arming them with AK-40. Yeah. Forget it. What they are doing is local. They are creating a local partners with United States. US soldiers cannot do the thing alone. They have never done it and they will never start it in Nigeria. So it is our responsibility to show an institution, because no country would want to partner with a ragtag people, unorganized, disoriented people. It doesn't happen that way. The Hausas are gradually building up themselves. You can see what is happening in Niger and other places. It is also time for us to also tell US, we can help, because the project you have is Nigerian-wide project. Just leave the South for us or leave the East for us. Give us what it takes. We'll help you to advance that security. But will such a thing happen in the midst of people who are talking rubbish when serious matter is going on? Yeah. So, Ndewo.
Please, I want to use this opportunity to advise our people, because for the past few weeks I've been seeing them coming again with the same tactics used by Ekperimanko. You know, when you want to kill a dog, you first of all give him a bad name. And the enemy will always target the heartbeat of the struggle, which is the leadership. When we keep on helping our enemies to attack the leadership, labeling them betrayers, that they are going to shift away the struggle, this and that, we are helping our enemies without knowing it. And if should anything happen to this IPOB leadership, we are all gone as a people.
Nothing will happen.
So I advise all our people, let us be always careful before we do or say anything, let us calculate. Because one single mistake lead to what you just said, that if we fail to do what we are supposed to do, our children will come out to suffer for it and start afresh in doing what we are supposed to do as their ancestors. Thank you for your continuous
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Okay, we have another caller. Good morning from here.
Hello, good morning.
Ndewo, Mazi. Ndewo.
I'm calling from, my name is Joseph. I'm calling from Italy.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay. So I just want to make a contribution based on your analysis this morning pertaining the way French intelligence works towards the Amazonia movement. And I can see that that's the same way they destroy Mazop, one of Wazirike.
Exactly.
That's the same strategy. Because there's so much seed of discord among the Mazobians. So most people are dragging position, even trying to stabbing themselves, even poisoning themselves in order to occupy position. And when Wazirike got it wrong, by then there wasn't social media the way it is now. So Wazirike was placing a position that anytime Biafra comes, you will be the governor, you will be this one, you will be this one. So that cord, that seed of cord, I want to be this one when Biafra comes, started inside, between the Mazobia, they started fighting in themselves. That's how they destroyed the Mazob. And I pray that you should go deeper and study how they did it in the movement of Mazob. Because just exactly how they did it. Nothing. And today now, nobody is hearing about Mazob again. So that's just my contribution. And I really want to appreciate you the way you are educating us based on this internet. It's really going a lot far. Really going far in the midst of our Ethiopians. Some people may not appreciate it, but people who have a right will appreciate it. Biafra is not only about local politics. It's all about international politics because everybody has interest. Every of Biafra comes today, are we going to remain isolated? It's going to go out of Biafra and other countries to make a deals and the relations and make an allies. So I don't know how our people are reasoning, or some people are reasoning sometimes, whether if they are really pursuing this struggle, if they are really pursuing this Biafra of again, or they are just there to make noise. So that is just what I want to contribute this morning. And I say thank you very much for your time and the educative programs always.
Thanks so much. I quite appreciate Mazi for your own contribution. That is really amazing. He made a strong reference to Masob, and of course, that is fact of history. The reference he made was, of course, fact of history, and which nobody can argue it. So we must remain whom we are. We must remain strong in the midst of challenges. If anybody tells you that challenge will not come, that person is not sincere with the truth. That is what it is. Maz, are you there? Can you hear what we are saying?
Yes. Am
I
coming out?
Yeah, you're coming out loud and clear.
You come out and analyze things very, very clear and very simple. Even for them and them to understand what I say. And analysis given, you have always been doing this, but people will not understand. This things you have said this morning is very, very. The one we have seen that is not a child or that will not be slashed, let me put it that way. It's not to focus internally and externally as well. Internally, I mean, it's about, let me just say, about 40%. The external focusing we need to is about 6%. We hear that earlier on when you started this podcast, because the international community are watching. Actually, they are not to focus only by maybe shouting on social media or this one said, the other one said.
that means you don't know what you do want. That's why you see most of the countries are very difficult to talk about what we are doing there, because we are busy chasing cloud, like you said. So I will urge Biafrans and people who are looking to give analysis to focus on what we are doing. We have a lot to do. We have a lot to achieve. Not only Martin Bicalo is there, like they always say, but without focus in our, I would say, our plan on this particular Biafra situation. It's because I don't know how to put it. It's very difficult for Bicalo maybe to pass. Because this nonsense, people are doing. He left me and to analyze. We tell the international community, tell the world what is really going. We have been lamenting about international laws and the geopolitics. When you come here and write them, we think that it's a caricature or a play. But it's very, very important, because when you go to Google today to talk about all this is saying, you will see it, they are very, very clear. I think you are the only one in IPW now, excluding CLS when it to the BTV. When you are analyzing your program, you can see the number of people that is watching. So you are not playing. It's not somebody will come and stand and talk anyhow. No. You have to be careful of what we're doing and make sure we focus on what is ahead to come. So, I want to really appreciate you. I know that you are at work. So, some of them will come and tell you that you don't have work. You have been a wonderful guy in this, yes. You have been a wonderful guy in this continue your good work. The only thing is that I can encourage you. If you still have time, you can follow so many times. Your family, yes, if you family it's only need to be begging money every day.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. That has really made me to laugh louder. Well, it is, I really want to appreciate every single one of us. It doesn't matter what divergent opinions. We are one people. Make no mistake about that. Everything we are fighting, both in the Equatorial and the Nekwe, all of them, we partake in it. And sometimes people have disagreement with us, not out of sheer stupidity or jealousy, but because they are even skeptical. Can we maintain our reputations? Can we maintain who we are? Can we keep the integrity to the end? So some at that very level, their concerns are really, really germane. It is worthy to, see it for what they are saying. Okay, maybe I have to get to him, then we'll come to the end. Mazi, I think you should be the last caller. Ndewo. You're and there you're on air now. You can go ahead.
Okay. Especially in the IPOB worldwide, and all our media personnel from Nazichike Dozium down to the grassroots, only Chishike, so I'm on and I hope please in FM everywhere. Okay, but you know them the more than personal that now. A back running at the breeze they share them, I will bother. Yaga she's here, none take with us. After their breeze, woman, our leader. In the name of Canada and the money of Canada. So sometimes we just try ourselves, not so okay, no ocean. Our brother. Mazuchi Kosen Basara France intelligence working with Nigeria. They started this operation long time. With the British. So during when Samuel was created was the time this thing that is happening now is created. Because if you connect the dots, our leader so now reconcile from Canada. Canada played a very big role if you that they said, position and that second in command for this time. So his plan was that he is going to take over. But still, many have out of here. May I name all of them, the schools, I feel with them and gone. But him and Dinado do work and take our people now, now, so I mean. So, the other for common article say, with or without our leader, Biafra will be restored. And that is taken. Only alone we are pushing a wall. I told him because all going. I this school to everything. And you find the key of the struggle to no hand before him may arrest. So, and I knew pronounce one on me. I got that side you should say, I am correct, you are correct. I am a US. US Ghana. So our people should be very, very on alert now. I need to see you. Sorry, man. I told you that whoever said you put this here, now the chief of man. I am married. Man, the guy Jack and I'm potentially the word of a calling and every IPOB. Every need that from the because outside by now, some are would they? And the other way, very shameful thing, no matter what you do, somebody goes across the line. You will have to say about first or second. That I will. The spectators in the again. So only on the now. Anything you want to get supply, Avida, supply. Only on actually, when leadership, the board leadership besides Shiakanok, I Shiakanok, as I go, I need to show, as I am all Latin high, I am named only on lawsuit, only so one reaching a wall. No question that no our leader say anything no leading the government are like him, like him. Why not you imagine what we should anything really Hana, pick up where as a classic, where as a China, as a chicken, man and machine. Got me that because I saw going around and I had I did my work. I can't hit that. So long as they are against what you are doing, they want to disrupt. Know that IPOB is the game. To know like putting on IPOB. And what I will to.
There were miles.
Now that we lose it, hope. All it was the encouragement. So can happen that that do all and I'm Biafra we must get it.
There we okay, that is a wonderful contribution from our brother. I had wanted to make him the last caller, but we are still having calls. So, Mazinde, were you here with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Amazing. Good afternoon, my education.
Thanks, sir.
Sorry, my voice might be a bit low in my workplace.
Okay.
So I don't want to raise my voice. But
it's all right.
Sure became my call. Yeah, sure. I got interested to speak when you were talking about the Amazonian matter, and it kind of took my mind back to around 8 years ago, thereabouts. And was when I actually came in contact with some Amazonians in the country that I traveled to. This was at the height of their militia activities in Amazonia.
Mm-hmm.
And when you made mention that the battle we're fighting is more of how did you put it? I think
psychological, asymmetric.
Exactly. So involved in intelligence, psychology, much more than physical engagement. And I was like, this is so true. And this is the path that the autopilot has wanted to take us down. We begin to engage in premature confrontation. As of 2 years ago, we're already engaging themselves or engaging their specific enemies, physically. Then
And right now, they are nowhere to be found. The leaders were handpicked one after the other, just as though the struggle is entirely out. Then what would have been our day? Then why do we go through the same path? And I just hope that our people would actually listen to sound analysis. While you were making a contribution, somebody made a comment in the comment section and said that no matter what you try to explain about geopolitics, what remains is that we are trying to stop authority from Martin and the Canada. Acknowledge that the analysis is sound, is backed up by historical proof. Just want to hold an agenda, just want to hold an agenda with which you would his mind. And so it is very important that our people become solution, and continue to look at our leadership. They've not failed. I mean, this is what I tell people, they've not failed. For years now, they tried again and again. Now, family meeting, they would say that this person has been tried and the other person has not been tried and tested. These people have been tested. Things have happened. They've stood their ground. What else do people want? So I wanted to make this little contribution.
We are losing your voice, Mazi. Okay,
can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay, you can round up.
Okay. So, that's right. Rounding up right now. In appreciation, let me just put it out there that you're really doing a great job. I know you heard that a lot on your call today, but again, this is just for me to confirm and say thank you so much, and continue doing what you're doing.
Thanks so much. That is wonderful from our brother, and that is great. One Mazi Chime have been calling. Maybe we'll have to go to him and see what he has. Mazi Chime, I think, I don't know if he's there. Mazi Chime, are you there?
Yeah, Mazi, can you hear me?
Okay, I have to come back to you because I see you have called several times. Just the way I will go to Ejiofor Gala. Okay, the platform is yours. Are you there? Hello? Oh no. So let's see if we can go once more to him. I don't know. Maybe we'll get 2 more calls, then we'll come to the end of today's program as much as we can. Don't know. Okay, can you hear me? Are you there, Mazi?
Hello?
Yes, are you there? Can you hear us? So sorry. Maybe we'll try to see what we can do. Okay. Hello, Maz, are you there? Hello? Hello? Okay. While we are trying to get both Mazi Chime and Ejiofor Gala, let's see who can try once or twice. Then we come to the end of today's program. I'm trying to perhaps his network, but like I said, every one of us should understand what we are facing as a people. Very, very important. We are having a vicious circle battle. I mean, it's a struggle. That's why it's called struggle. That's why it's called struggle. It is called struggle because it's not an easy cause. It's not going to be an easy journey to each and every one of us. So we must maintain, our strength, maintain our energy. Okay, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. You can go on.
Thank you. This is the analysis, especially when you talk about the Ambazonia is a strong strategy to be considered. And
I remember when I saw when Allah took over, and the reason being when Allah took over,
I don't know why we're having a poor network. I don't know why. Okay. Are you there, Maz? It seems you are listening to your program. You are listening to your gadget. Hello?
Yeah, Mazi Chika Austin.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I called you Mazu. Ndewo. Adane. Okay, the platform is yours.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you so much for enlightening Biafrans and good people in this struggle, as well as lovers of freedom. Most times when you have programs like this, I make sure that I send messages to some people or groups encouraging them to go and listen to you. Especially in the group where we have Methuselahs. Please, Methuselah, I mean, is the Methuselah of old, please.
Are we with, are we with Adan Chichi? Is that the person?
Yeah, I mentioned.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't take notice of that introduction earlier. Okay. For those of us who are listening, Wada Chichi happens to be one of the anchors on BTV. Let me make the introduction better, if she will oblige. So you're welcome. Sorry, it's your voice that made me to know. You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, when when I say or refer to, when I say Methuselah, I refer to the Methuselahs of old who have started this struggle with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or who have started before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, those who were there before 2012 and all the rest. But it's appalling that some of these Methuselahs cannot reason beyond their nose. These people, I don't know, they picked up this fight when nobody was fighting with them. They kept on separating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from us while we yell like a child whose mother just left underage for his father. We all were there when it all started, which we always resound. But every day you come here, you hammer on geopolitics. And those who have been following you supposed to have understand, or if not you are enlightened, you might claim to be a prophet, but this is a study. You have been following history, you have been following narratives, and when you make your views, somebody that is highly intelligent will always understand where you are going. You mentioned how Amazonia was destroyed. It wasn't up to a bit now that I also informed some group how these Amazonia were destroyed, and that's the strategy they used when immediately our leader was caught. You know, the man you were talking about that they caught in Nigeria was it was Julius Sisiku Ayuk.
Okay.
He was the leader of Amazonia Freedom Fighters. He was caught in 2018 in Nigeria. He was extradited to Cameroon, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment on secession and the terrorism charges, just as they did to Onyendu. And you know what the Amazonia did, especially show, Ayaba, they stopped talking about Julius.
Okay.
That was the strategy they used. When, initially when this whole ranting started, they said that they want to save Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as Kanu's family, not to save him as a leader of IPOB. That was why they were bragging that whether with or without IPOB, that their brother will come out. At the time, they started mocking us that Onyendu has moved on, that has left us behind. And they began to apply different mantra, but surprisingly, this same set of people turned 360 degrees and began to accuse us, the leadership, of how they were taking power from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This power puzzle, and I don't even know the day that Chika Master DM her. Before our eyes, wanted to take over the leadership or Machina Sanwolo. I've written it several times, and I've seen some people writing it the way Machina Sanwolo will always be on air on top of his voice. Now, this is the man who wanted to save Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You turn 360 degrees and begin to accuse him of taking power from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You see that I will mention some names here. I will mention some names. Why I will mention the names is because these were the names, or at least one person. It's a name that I used to respect because I thought that he was intelligent enough. I thought that he would be one of the ones that would be in the front line to save this struggle to save Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am 100% disappointed in Moses Sabo. Sabo should retrace his steps, because where he is going, he knew that there is no road there. They fought so hard to remove the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from those that saved him, from his real legal team that saved him. Now, because they know that it is only the DOS and IPOB that is left to save Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and save the struggle, they now want to create factions. Amazonia that you talked about, they are now in factions, but nobody hears about them anymore. So sad. Although we are only one Amazonia freedom fighters, they were everywhere. They were everywhere. Now we stop, even the Shayoba, because the way he refused to stop mentioning the name of his leader, that is how his followers have also stopped mentioning his name. This is what wanted to do to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But badly enough, just like you wrote and you also say, that when they start feeding him with these lies and wrong informations, he will start taking wrong decisions, because this is a man who is just confided in a very little space. And his head consumes whatsoever he is told.
He's a human being.
Because he's a human being. He can be influenced. An influencer can be influenced. Now, because these people don't want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to remain influential, they begin to attack the very body that can only keep him relevant. Sometimes when I sit down and I look at some of these Methuselahs, I'll be asking myself, now if these people achieve their thoughts of separating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or of, in fact, let me say dislodge, not just creating factions. If they dislodge everybody in IPOB, I want to ask them, who will they take order from? There is this one Uzoma Wipe in Ghana. He made Sarah. But he can never reason beyond his nose. And the way they fight these fights, I'll be imagining we're all of us all here when it all started. What exactly do they want to achieve? Because if these people are reasonable enough, they will know that once we stop mentioning the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that's the end of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And once this leadership will say, enough is enough, all Israel to your tents are neighbors for over a decade, is gone. It is gone. You see what really more wrote the other day, that even Mike Arnold.
Yeah.
Yes, he shared that really most post and page. So this is what it is. You have really more saying that there is not yet serious engagement. Now, those who are supposed to engage reasonably are busy grafting, dismantling, and the power-freaking siblings who has been bought over are busy in this bunch of grunts, making sure that we lose direction. Well, I'm very much sure that the army I'm seeing in IPOB, when I say army, I mean those who know, those who are focused, know the direction that we are going. I know that we can never lose focus. They thought we say we are abandoning this struggle, because no, we are not abandoning it too, because they will grow to forever. And they will never achieve their aim. But for you and I, who are focused, we know where we are going. And never shall this our pains be in vain.
Amen.
Some people are proving that, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has suffered so much. He has paid price. And I am asking, who have not, in one way or the other, not paid a price? Even you most often, I'm surprised the way you are. I mean, because only people who are closer, you know what you yourself has gone through. And these people parading this story or peddling all this nonsense, they forgot that people have been in since 2016. Nobody even knows where they are. Parents have lost their only child or only son or only sons. We knew of two brothers who were the only children of a family that they killed. And they killed them. Of course, we are talking of Mrs. Ifed. I mean, what ultimate price is more than that? What ultimate price is more than that? 28 men laid down in one day. 28 men laid down in one day in defense of one man. And the siblings are mocking us. We cannot abandon the struggle. Either in fear or in shame. We are following this leadership to wherever they are leading the people to. We cannot be like ambassadors. Never. We will get to where we are going. So I want to encourage you. I want to encourage so many of us who have been standing because we are standing by ourselves. We are not doing it for the leadership. We are not doing it for the leadership. Instead, we are even doing it for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because we are the ones who are still making to remain relevant. But if we can bet it, let IPOB stop talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let the leadership quit. And let's see where they will get to. But we cannot just do that, whether in anger or in fear. We will continue until we get where we are going.
Thanks, Wanda. Thanks, Wanda, so much. This is a word of encouragement from her. Her words are full of powers, encouragements, and historical. Hold on. I'm bringing you in. Can you hold on for a few seconds? So Wanda Jovita has been one of us from days back on media. I respect her a lot. She gave a very historical perspective to the struggle, and she has also passed through her own sacrifice. Most of you might not know too. As a matter of fact, she had a very horrible experience. But today, thank God, she's stabilizing. Okay, Maz, are you there with us? Can we hear you?
Yeah, can I clear? Am I coming out clear?
Yes.
Hello? Okay. Maz, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Thank you. You are wonderful. I follow you. Your analysis, it's one of the best. I must tell you the truth.
Thank you.
Doing a good work. You don't do a good work. And the way you press, you are talking. Like what I was saying, from my own understanding, from my own view, I don't think we have any fashion. If you have been in that period for, let's say, from 2014, 2010, and counting, we have a code of conduct, we have how people can expel, how people can sack, how people can suspend. So, if you are expelled, they are not part of us. What are you talking about fashion? So, don't try to say they are rebels. So, not part of what you do. They can go upon whatever they like. So, that is back then. So, we don't have fashion. We have only one POB. That's what we have.
Thank you.
And sustain. To progress, we continue to go ahead, and God is guiding us. No matter whatever they are saying, the one you have to take it is in the head. Whatever he says, even our real do says to us. I think I'm asked to choose his uncle. Oh, yeah, oh, Ebano. So, you don't look with soup, you can't, but you don't want Ebano. Or in Palestine, or Lion Cannon, I am the from Badon. Nothing down. My happiness is hard to stand strong, and I feel the being wasted. So my happiness. But now, see, everyone had to try to get people.
About Joa one Mune Joao. Mune Joa Biko. Joa.
I'm trying to get silent. What British silent? If you watch I go and study if you watch what is going on now, if you watch Francis now, I'm telling you how will they answer happy man. But they are very quiet and silent.
Okay.
This silent is good. And well, also like a match. Here, Nigeria won't chance. Everywhere. The good like that.
Lion. Okay, check come sag your sister because so Ghana not here. Emma, onwembe UK chia wani ne chega including America. Amam made their way. Yeru that time they could not hold those kingdoms because when he the power again, they abandoned them. That when American went have freedom and all the rest of them. Spain they quite powerful like that. So every kingdom when be Canada where another kingdom will take over and replace a Boji. So in UK now, UK add the that strength. Or Guhagra Gamo when involved, walk with France or and Germany. Or Guhagra Gamo when involved between Russia and the Ukraine. The thing really have who were that UK cannot sustain external pressure much. You understand me? So France have to quack them off because why when here they can vacuum you got that so so they are keeping quiet. I hear that they want to keep quiet all due to him when he resources to make advances actually. So come Russia get take it over. They have to allow France to take over. So I am again in Nigeria. I am again in Nigeria.
But come on, France, the other man, I'm booking
France and the Sahel are in a more one in the Sahel. Are the one happy with Nigeria because Nigeria is accommodating in the Hana de So in the Sahel kwani reach agreement. Okadema na asuru si igbe now. So that Marco which has something you talk with because I put na beken no gain and the question no high cool. But I wish in the beka when they what am be some so come so and be some am so you boni when they what am so you so when many there ndị mba America na ndị Sahel nwego understanding ịghọta so ebe ihe niile jeje land wu ndị Awụsa ịma ndị Awụsa ka na obodo Niger aha ka ahichakwani Niger now ha nọ discussion with ndị America lee ma ga-egbuwara ha from Adamawa Niger ga-achịrịcha ma ndị Sokoto so chirizie ndị Fulani nọ n'obodo ahụ cheba that place ha wuruzie minority ọrụ America chọrọ ịrụ na America chọrọ ịkwatu ike ndị Fulani America chọrọ ịkwatu ike ndị Fulani na Nigeria so ị gakwa na kwafukwe n'ike ha without ịlụsị ha ọgụ at their base. So I am here America for the past last month. In America, the business bubata ngwaya di enough hageji descend on them. Our people are my here. Sometimes our people are not saying mega ngwangwa. Or go out name ngwangwa. You understand me? You bubata go di enough ngwaya. Because America lo say America got cheha. Oh, here dear. It will take them over 500 years to wake it up. In America, the kind of even Nigerian government, Nigerian government, every 2 hours, Germany, Ebuba neto equipment na Ghana. She's a Ghana. Nebubati Anugwa Usa directly. Ha try Ibuti Lagos or Abuja first. You understand me? So that means Nigerian government amaga in America load to na Ghana.
Yeah.
Yes, because America here ni Obataga Nugwa so bagia from Ghana. And in Sobude. So I will told you there. Kofo G4 Kofala. Manasi when all win-win, no one manage upon win-win na diplomacy. Win-win, game what they can, give me what they can. You are a humbug. Anything in central government, he can do Fulani Abatu na Nigeria, or Drani Zelani. All those colonialism language no ga wo beka soga. Ole colonialism. Colonialism all will be in control of your resources. Or will get resources in when no get in control of it. In that sa what I want gas or had in control of it. We already colonized, so my people know who ana subeke like this. Yana de yana do krek. But if you train at the bogaju mwegi, are we not already colonized? Call ebuge n'Enugu, obiaga na akpa Enugu. Stones ebuge na Abakaliki na Ebonyi State, obiaga na the impact olurugi. Mmanụ egbuge na Abia State, egbuge na Imo State, egbuge na Anambra bataga na akpa gị. We already colonized. So onwegwani mbe no why ikwesị ghọtakwanụ even Saudi Arabia nwere mmanụ dị advance. America jikwe help ha na-eme strat mmanụ ha. It doesn't mean colonialism. Anyị nwere onwe anyị enwebeghị the advanced technology. Ịbịa mana igwupụta ihe nọ n'ala anyị enweghị the technology nke weziokwu. So I gakwa enwekwe partnership. Ọ ihe mere o ji dị mma na anyị ghọtara ụmụ ihe ndị a because o nwere ihe anyị na-eji ekwu a ga-achị anyị a ga-ecolonize mmadụ ọchị ga-ahụ gị already. Ndewo maazị ekwuchala m ya before ga jụfụta m nke m na-achọghị ikwuni ngwanụ jisi ike. Okay, thank you so much. For those of us who could not understand, we need to go for one of the Igbo dialogue to discuss. Anyway, I want to appreciate you. See you some other time. I will be coming and we'll be talking.